Hello and welcome to the Liverpool Away podcast following a 1-0 win over the Blues at Anfield that restored our 12-point lead and took us one step closer to the title. Diogo Jota got the only goal of the game, but as usual in this fixture, there was controversy as James wingnut Tarkowski somehow escaped a red card after a scandalous challenge on Alexis McAllister. Paul Tierney staying right on brand there. I'm Dave Usher, editor at liverpoolway.co.uk, and joining me for this one, I've got Terry McDonald. Alright then T, just me and you today. Everyone else is otherwise engaged, so we'll try and make sense of what happened last night. Wasn't as incident packed as the Goodison derby, but you know, there's still a few big talking points. But getting the 3 points, that's the main thing, isn't it? You know, I wasn't confident going into the game. I don't know how you felt, but just getting the 3 points, anything else would have been a bonus. Thought the performance was alright, but wasn't anything to write home about. But great 3 points, 12-point lead again. Yeah,
definitely. I mean, I work in Manchester myself, obviously with a load of City and United fans, but there's a few lads from down here who work up there. In the main, most of them are Blues, and they were all pretty confident. Like in the day, one of them was saying he can see them scoring 2. One of them was saying he could see them at least getting a draw. And to be honest, like after the first half, I'd have probably went along with them. So it was good to see us, like, you know, roll our sleeves up and dig in a little bit more second half. I wouldn't call it putting on a performance or anything like that, because I think we just did enough, didn't we?
Yeah.
I mean, but then when you look at the stats, it was like complete domination. They had, well, like the one real chance with Beto and the offside goal, but when you look at it, like no, there was not in second half at all, not at all. It was a classic Moyes Everton at Anfield performance second half, really, wasn't it? It was like first half you felt like they had a little bit of initiative, and then I don't know, at half time, I think he always used to do it anyway when he was there. It was like, right, that's enough of that, you know, fucking back into your shells you go. And then we just completely dominated the ball. It's not the first time we've seen that. I remember 05-06 when Gerrard got sent off, and it was like, well, fucking hell, these are obviously gonna, you know, come out and do a bit more, and they absolutely shit the bed. They completely shit the bed. But I don't remember that when Gerrard got sent off, they were cheering it like a fucking god. I don't think I've seen him celebrate like that at Anfield in years.
And then they were like, now we've actually got to make the play yet.
It's like, literally, what do we do here? So it was strange how the second half went in terms of from them.
Yeah.
Because I think we were saying in the group chat as well, that, well, certainly those of us who weren't at the game were saying, these look dangerous every time they spring. It was just, I think they were just missing a final ball here and there. Like that Harrison's absolutely dreadful. I think if they'd have had someone better than him on, we might have been in danger. But whether it was by our design or by Moyes, they just seemed to nix it second half, and they didn't really try and lay a glove on us, which is bizarre when it just looked like we were quite fragile yesterday, and especially with the injuries we had as well.
Yeah. Do you know what I thought was weird in the second half? After we went in front, they didn't change at all. They carried on exactly like that, which is not that unusual, but usually you get to 80 minutes and then it's like, okay, now we go for it. We keep it at 1-0 and now we go for it. And it was like 85 minutes, and I'm saying to John, I'm like, these have not even fucking tried to attack it yet. It's like they're happy with the 1-0.
That's it. That's even after he made like a triple substitution at one point as well. He brought on a load of attackers, like he brought that Brozier on, Ashley Old came on. So I don't know if you've seen, there was a point where I think it might have been the left back or Njai, I can't remember, like towards the end, put a cross in. The Van Dijk headed against Brozier that went out for a goal kick to us. But in the middle of the penalty area, Ashley Young just ran past, I think it might have been Kanate, and just done a swan dive. Like he literally just lashed himself. You know, like that them dives he does, like the one against United. He literally just done that. I think Kanate was just looking at us to say, "What the fuck are you doing?" But it was just like they've just been brought on to try and win a pen like that or something like that. It was like, I don't think anyone brought it up because they just got on with the game. But he said, "What is he doing there?" It was just so fucking blatant.
Yeah. I just, maybe we deserve credit for that, because maybe they were trying to attack and they just couldn't get out because, you know, we just did a good job on them, which I think we did. It was more to do with us with the ball. It was very just like the first half especially, it was just slow, stodgy, just all in front of them, nothing really happening. Second half was a bit better for about 10 or 15 minutes when we really upped the tempo. That's essentially when we won the game, in that spell where, you know, they were rocking, we were like really pushing them, and you just felt like, okay, something might be coming here. But I also have to say, they're hard to play against, you know, in some of it is in a bad way, you know, I'll criticise them for it, like some of the fucking shithousing and, you know, all that stuff, but also defensively they're really good, and like they fucking throw themselves in front of everything, and the defending in like such numbers, it is difficult. So I'm okay with us not rolling them over 4-0 or anything. The main thing was just get the win, especially because like coming off the back of 2 losses, I know they weren't in the league, so in theory it shouldn't really be relevant, but it was. You know, that cup final totally destroyed any trust I had in the team. I had no confidence going into that last night because I just didn't know what to expect from us. And the first half went exactly how I was fearing the game was going to go. And you're thinking, this is going exactly how Everton won it. You said there about, like, you know, them looking dangerous in the first half. I think that was just purely on Van Dijk. They weren't doing anything particularly creative. They were just knocking a ball in behind to Beto, and for some reason Virgil just wasn't dealing with him. Like the disallowed goal, you know better than me, I've seen a replay of it, but I've not seen like a freeze frame to show how far offside he was or anything. But
he was just off.
Virgil's not looking at him. He's run off the back of Virgil, but Konate's the one in charge of that situation because he's facing the play and he's watching. And as soon as that pass got played, I seen Konate put his arm up. So I think Konate had that under control where he was holding the line and he let him go. And as soon as it happened, so I actually think that's good defender from Konate. But as I say, I've not really seen like proper replays of it. But
on the first replay, it looked blatant. But then when they were doing the VAR, it looked tighter than it was. But it was good defending by Konate, definitely. He was off. But yeah, I mean, should we talk about how first half they made him look like, I think Cara said they made him look like Prime Drogba. It's just...
I said to John, like, they're making him look like fucking George Weah here.
Yeah, he's absolute dog, but like the greatest, you know, will in the world. He's a trier, obviously, but he's absolute dog shit. And it's like, how are you making him look fucking competent? I know he's been on a little run where he's scored goals here and there and stuff, and he obviously scored against us at their place. But every Everton fan I know fucking hates him. And it's just, I don't know what it's. I suppose it's like he's like a Diet Coke version of Big Dunk. I mean, Ferguson was a good player, but we used to make him look like fucking, I don't know, pick someone, Ronaldinho, R9, someone like that. when we played us, because we were absolutely terrified of him. Where he'd go, like when he went to Newcastle and people just weren't asked, he was shit. He ended up coming back to Everton, but for some reason, Van Dijk, like it was the same with Goodison as well. Van Dijk and Konate making him look like an actual fucking decent player, which
he's so limited.
It just baffles you. Yeah, completely.
There's 2 things that he's good at. He's like he'll run. He's quick once he gets into his stride, and I actually think he's a good finisher. You know, when he goes through 1-on-1, he is actually a good finisher. Like even the one that's hit the post, it's unlucky. It's not a bad finish.
He's give the eyes, hasn't he?
Yeah, I actually think the 2 things he can do is he can run in behind and he can finish, and he can't do anything else. But like Virgil was just unsettled by him. Even because even like, so the first half he has the disallowed goal, he has the shot that hits the post. Second half he doesn't really do anything. But Virgil spent like a lot of time asking for a second yellow card. Like every time Beto made like a challenge or something, Virgil's like wanting a yellow card. When did you ever see us doing that? It's not really something that we do. He was unsettled by him. He fucking just wanted him off. Just wanted rid of him.
This is Van Dijk, the fella who pockets Haaland every single time he plays against him.
It's weird.
And he's given a run man by, I don't know if it's a myth or not, but I'm sure someone said he used to work in KFC. So it's how the fucking hell do you work that out? Do you know what I mean? Possibly the greatest goal scorer of his generation, and Van Dijk has no issues with him pretty much ever. And then fucking you're playing fucking homeless FC 11, and it just fucking gives him the fucking run round.
It was weird.
It's like alternate universe stuff. Last night I was just like, what is he doing? That one with the it was the one where he had the post where it's the awkward bounce and that all, like, but like
total
He just
fresh
swung
air,
a fucking leg at it. Do you know what it reminded me? It reminded me of Cavani and Cadamazzi. Do you remember years ago when Cavani tried to come out and just missed it completely? But that time, obviously, Cadamazzi went through and fucking slotted. Ask your dad's kids if you don't know who that is. But it was a little bit like that in terms of like absolute fucking bluffer. Has gone through and like I was convinced he was going to score because, like you said, he probably is a good finisher. But when I come back off the post, he's just like, Jesus Christ, what are we doing here?
Yeah, that was proper Keystone Cops defending that one.
Yeah, 100%. Because I think Kanate was even on his fucking hands and knees watching him go through somehow. I think he'd fell over.
God. No,
Yeah, it was just...
so at that point it was... Because it's not like they were actually attacking. They were just knocking a ball in behind, and every time they did it, you're like, oh shit, what's happening here? Because they weren't really leaving their own half. It's like they're the most dangerous team, even though like the only player who left his own half was fucking Beto, and they were still the most dangerous side in the first half, even though it was like complete dominance of possession from us. We didn't really. What chances did we have? We had like Jota had that. He had a shot blocked, and then he blasted the rebound wide. Anything else?
Robbo had a chance. Robbo had a chance. He wildly lasted wide. Salah's,
what was Robbo doing
header?
There?
Yeah, I don't know. Salah had a header he put straight at Pickford, which he should have done better with.
Yeah, that was a Diaz cross. Wasn't Diaz was he didn't do that much, but he was the one who you thought keep getting him the ball. And in fairness, we did keep getting on the ball. He had like a lot of situations where he was 1v1 against that big fucking lamppost. He
did well against them as well. Like he did all right against them. I think it was the first couple of minutes. The ball just went out, and if he'd have managed to keep it in, Diaz might have had a penalty because I think he clipped his heels.
Yeah, I wondered what was given there, and then like I seen that the linesman had flagged to say it had gone out. Yeah,
it just about went out as well. Like because when they showed the replay, Neville was like, oh, bloody hell. He did his usual, and you're like, it must be close if Neville's cracking out on who. But yeah, I think from then on he was good. I think he went down, didn't he? He rolled his ankle. That looked bad when he tried to control it.
Yeah, it was no one near him, was there? He was
best of a bad bunch in the first half, defo.
Him and Curtis, I thought.
Yeah, Curtis, especially for where he was playing, Curtis had a really good game.
I thought he was man of the match. Him or Diaz, they were the two that stood out for me.
Yeah, definitely.
So, we have to talk about the fucking... the red card that wasn't.
I mean, it's just... Fuck me. Like, when it happened, as I said to you earlier, it was one of them where me and my missus both went, oh, fucking hell. And you just knew it wasn't like a normal tackle or anything like that. You knew straight away like that it was at the very least naughty from the first like.
It was a Tarkowski tackle. He does them all the time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then the first replay, the pair of us were like, fuck it, get him off. Like he has to go for that. And then I think Neville was like as well, yeah, that's fucking like he knows exactly what he's doing there. And then it was like, oh yeah, VAR's checking this, and it must have been about 15 seconds later.
So they said to Slot after the game, apparently it was a 10-second check. So they said to Slot, the check took 10 seconds, are you surprised by that? And he just straight batted it, and he said, well, I don't care if it takes 10 seconds or 3 minutes, the main thing is like, you get the decision right, and he wouldn't be drawn on it. He said, look, even people who don't like Liverpool are saying that's a clear red card, so based on all of that, it looks like it's wrong, but I'm not talking about it.
It's 10 seconds. I should have took 5 for it to just go at the very least to say get to the monitor.
That, or there's two ways you can look at that. You can take one look at it and go, yeah, go to the monitor, or you can take a look at it and go, okay, that's bad, I want to see another angle, and then you go, show me one more angle of it to be sure, and then say to him, right, go to the monitor, we've looked at it from every angle and we think this is a red card. I don't know how you can only check that for 10 seconds if you're saying, yeah, that's a red card. I don't think you can check it for 10 seconds and say no. That makes no sense.
Something like that, they need to be fucking bringing the audio up and stuff like that. And I know that you're treading into Arsenal fan territory when you're going on about like fucking release the audio and we want this, we want that and stuff like that. But it's not like Paul Tierney hasn't got a track record of being absolute fucking, you know, at the very least, unbelievably incompetent when it comes to us, and at the very worst, horrendously compromised. Because, I mean, like, last season, Maka got sent off against Bournemouth for the most innocuous 50-50 you'll ever see. Tierney was on VAR, didn't overturn it, and then a day later it gets rescinded. It's like, what is he looking at? Like, what does he need to be looking at to be able to make the right decision? Because, I mean, really, 10 seconds for yesterday, that's all it should have took for him to send him off.
Yeah.
But then 10 seconds and then to decide, no, he's not going. What the fuck is he doing? And, like, it's not just him sat in here either. There's like, him on VAR, there's an assistant VAR, and then I think they have another one as well, don't they? They have like
just the guy who operates,
like an independent, the VAR operator,
yeah.
Because remember the Spurs thing with Diaz, the VAR operator was the one who brought
the VAR
it.
operator was the only one who was like, lads, I think we may have, this is not right here, you know.
I mean, I hope last night the VAR operator was like, are you for real? Because someone should have been like, what are you even looking at there?
So you said, like, it's getting into Arsenal fan territory, but I think, like, any decision, any like major decision like that, I just think like the club should be entitled to say, we'd like to hear the audio.
Yeah. I don't disagree.
Because you want to understand how they've come to the decision. It's not about conspiracy theories and like, oh, he's trying to screw us over. I want to hear the audio because I want to hear him say why that's not a red card.
Yeah. You want to hear him in his broad Mancunian accent tell people why it isn't a red card. I mean, I could not believe when Peter Drury was like, oh, the VAR check's complete, and even Neville was just like surprised by that. I can't believe it's only taken them that long. And then you're just completely amazed by it because they keep showing replays, and then when they get to half time, and then when they get to half time, Duncan Ferguson, the man who headbutted someone on a football pitch, and then did he go to jail for that? I don't know. Whatever. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, he did it more than once, but he went to jail for one of them. Yeah. Right.
Well, that he turned around and called it a straight red card and said you can't be doing that. I mean, like,
I know.
If that doesn't fucking back your case up more than anything ever will, then you know I'm at a loss for words for it. But it was outrageous, mate. Outrageous from start to finish. The action of the tackle. Look at his face. Look at his face when he's doing it. He knows exactly what he's doing. If Maka's legs planted on the floor, he's probably still trying to pick it up now this morning.
Yeah.
So like it's one of them again. It's like, does he have to break his leg for him to go? Do you know what I mean? It's like, what more does he need to do? Break his leg and then fucking tap him on the head while he's being sent off? It's just, and when you remember, like, again, not to like throw everything in the mix because not everything is comparable, but Curtis last season at Spurs.
There's loads of examples. See, here's the difference with the Tarkowski one with like a lot of these other red cards that we've seen when like the follow through's caught someone or they've bounced off the ball and they've hit someone. The difference is they talk about like excessive force. There was so much force in that. That was not just like, you know, I've seen players get sent off for like they've got like the left foot's planted on the floor and the right foot's gone in for the tackle. And like the Curtis one, but there's been others as well where there's no excessive force there at all. But like, on a still photo, it looks quite bad because you'll see the studs like just under the knee, on the shin or whatever. And on a still frame, you're like, oh, that doesn't look good. But when you actually watch it, you're like, yeah, he's caught him, but there's not like excessive force. It's not really that dangerous. That one, he's throwing a fucking full weight of his body into that challenge with both feet off the ground. You
just say he's off the floor.
Like, I don't want to be overly dramatic here, but that is a sacking offence for Paul Tierney. The referee on the pitch, it's bad enough. The referee on the pitch should see that. But I'll always make certain allowances for the ref on the pitch. But there's no excuse when you've got a video of it and you can watch it back over and over. There's no excuse for that. Like, the referee on the pitch has made a bad mistake. What Paul Tierney's done, I don't think you can call that a bad mistake. I don't think it's a mistake. I don't know what it is, but that to me is like, if you can't get that decision right, you have got no business being in that room. It's as simple as that. You shouldn't be in that room. Like, you know, they talk about player safety. That's like such a big thing now, and that's why they were bringing in red cards for these things. It's like, if that is not a red card, then what are we fucking doing here? You know, that is like the very definition of why that rule was brought in, was for tackles like that.
Yeah.
And what you're getting is tackles that are nowhere near as forceful as that are getting red cards. And I'm not even necessarily saying a lot of them are wrong decisions. You know, sometimes it's like you think, oh, he's a bit unlucky there, you know, but if you tackle like that, you are running the risk. And then you see him doing that, and it's not the first time. It's like I'm watching Match of the Day every week for the roundups, and you're probably looking at like every 2 or 3 weeks he's throwing in a tackle like that. And I've been commenting on it all season. It's not like I'm just saying it now after that. I've been seeing him doing shit like that. Him and Pickford, the two of them, they're just fucking reckless, dangerous players. And I was going to say it's only a matter of time before they seriously injure someone. Pickford already has, but Tarkowski's going to do it. And it's all well and good after the game going over and like apologising and saying, "Oh, I didn't mean it." You fucking did mean it. You did mean it. And I know exactly what he was thinking there. He's thinking early on in a derby, the ball's there, I can take the ball and I can fucking wipe him out after I've played the ball, which is how it always was. That was how, like, Tarkowski plays the game as though we're still in the 80s. And, like, you can't do that anymore. Like, that's a great tackle in the 80s. Even the 90s, great tackle. I understand that, you know, and you've got, like, Everton fans trying to defend that and saying he got the ball. Yeah, but have you not been paying attention, lads? Do you not realise that the rules of the game have changed now, where that is not allowed?
Your own, like, Everton fans, your own idol, who you all have as your fucking screensaver, choking Stefan Freund out instead of a picture of your wife and kids, is on fucking Sky Sports telling people that is a disgrace of a fucking tackle and your captain should have walked. It's like, what more do you need? Do you know what I mean? It's just so fucking, it's absolutely fucking ridiculous. That, do you think if they wouldn't saved it, or if they'd have got a last minute equaliser, he'd have been over to McAllister apologising at the end, to be laughing in his face?
Yeah.
Because that's what they are. I mean, like, did you see anyone see fucking Decore giving it to our fans last night? No, fucking wankers.
I seen him on Instagram.
That had nothing to do with this.
The morning of the game, though. Did you see that?
This is our city or something like that. Like, mate, we and you're not getting a new contract.
We built this fucking absolute tool.
Fucking sure you did. We built this city, with what? We couldn't even afford to pay the fucking rent on these stands, you saw bastards. You know. Didn't build anything. That's the thing, innit? How we built something like, we built 3 stadiums in this city, and you've made fucking cunts of yourselves in every single one of them. Fucking hell. Even the new one, they've only fucking had 2 things in there, and your fans were wanting some 17-year-old kid's legs broken because fucking he scored a goal and made a fucking gesture to you. It's just like, oh, and you're embarrassing yourselves by having blue ketchup. You're fucking weapons.
Blue ketchup. Oh my god.
Blue ketchup. Oh,
no, they are. They're just warped.
My mate knows, like, he's quite a famous. He's famous not in terms of like he's a celebrity, but do you remember We Want Mourinho? Do you remember him?
Vaguely.
Like a video. So there's a video and he's like just being beaten by someone. United in the cup semi-final when Martial scored in the last minute, and there's fans at interviewing. He's like, "We want Mourinho, lads. If this Mercedes got the money, we want fucking Mourinho," and all that. Funny as fuck, like, it's great. And my mate knows him, and he said they got a taxi once, like an Uber or whatever, and the taxi driver's seat had red stitching in the seat. Not even a red seat, just red, like, you know, stitching. And he refused to get in a taxi.
Oh my god.
He's like, "I'm not getting in that fucking taxi with fucking red stitching." Like, my mate was just like, "You're not real." And he's like, "I'm not getting in no fucking red taxi." And fucking closed the door and got a Hackney instead.
It's
what the fuck? It's an illness. It's an absolute illness. Like, fucking blue poppies, blue Santa outfits. It's, honest to God, mate, it's like, won't drink Carlsberg. It's...
I can't relate to it. I'm sat here now and I'm wearing a blue jacket, blue jeans and blue socks. And it wouldn't even enter my head. I don't. It's not relevant.
Why would you let that be like your identity? Imagine, like, fucking you getting married and your missus and like, "I want red flowers." You're fucking not having them. They can fuck right. It's like, oh my god.
I walk around the house singing "Spirit of the Blues." That song's fucking boss. I've got no problem whatsoever. Sometimes it'll just be in my head and I'll just walk around the house singing it. Doesn't bother me at all. I'm not thinking, "Oh, it's an Everton song, fuck that." I'm like, no, that's a fucking boss tune.
I always whistle Z-Cars, but that's because I like Watford. So yeah. But yeah, like the Spirit of the Blues thing, I just find it hilarious. But like, it's funny as fuck when you hear them all singing it and they all do the big woo at the top of the voices.
Great. I know.
I think it's funny as fuck. But
It's
like,
great. But if that was us doing like with something like that, their fucking blood would be boiling about it.
There was a fucking concert on the dock 2 years ago, maybe. Can't remember who it was playing, but I think it might have been James. James might have been playing on the dock, and I think they played "You'll Never Walk Alone." And there's this video of this like Scouse couple. It must have been in the 50s, honestly. And they're walking down by the Lava Birds and like just fucking walked out of that concert playing that cop-out song. Fucking bastards. It's like, mate, fucking you've been there all night, just fucking one song, just get up. They're not aiming it at you, you soft bastard. Fucking hell. But the whole like, they're like living the personality through the fucking spectrum of despising a colour because of us. It's so fucking backwards. Like, it's unbelievable how much they let it affect the whole life. Do you know what I mean? Fucking Ronald Koeman's Christmas tree.
That was another classic.
It's just, it's like you used to say in the mag, mate. If they didn't exist, we'd have to make them up.
I know.
Because
they just funny. It reached the point where I couldn't even take the piss out of them anymore.
No, it gets beyond parody, doesn't it?
What they're doing is way funnier than anything that I could have come up with. And it kind of just, because I used to do like Trials and Tribulations of Life at the Pit and the fanzine and that.
Yeah, I remember it.
And it was really good, it was some of my best work. But it did come to a point where I'm like, how can I top this now? Like, they've just done X, and I've got to write about that, like, with Y, and like, Y is not going to top X. It's like, you just...
No.
Like, their reality was just funnier than anything that I could come up with. There was no punchline I could come up with to justify the stuff that they
along
were
those
doing.
lines, along the exact same lines, they named their shop Everton 2 in Liverpool 1.
Yeah. Because
Tony Barrett once put in one of his like blood red columns, I think it was, or it might have even been Basco. Oh, you know, there's I think he just did it to take the piss. He's like, there's rumours they're going to call the shop Everton 2 because it's in Liverpool 1, and he fucking did it.
Someone went, that's an idea. That works.
Ken Mike Werner. It was Ken Mike. It was definitely Ken Mike. Just tapping the table, going, get that down right now.
No! What an existence it must be. But
it
filters down to the players as well. You know, like like some of the players buy into it. Like obviously Tarkowski, fucking Decore, the way they carried on in the last derby and that, and you know, it's just I don't know.
Remember Michael Ball with his Predators? He sent them back because they had red on them.
There was red on them. Yeah, he was one of the worst. He was an absolute fucking knobhead. He still is.
He
still pipes up now and again, doesn't he? Yeah,
see him up here every now and again. He lives up here. He's a fucking tool. But fucking, I remember, again, we're getting well off track here, but he wrote, remember the Origi derby? I'll have to know about that, actually, the 90+6 Origi derby. In the immediate aftermath of that, he wrote in his Echo column, to be fair, I didn't even know he could read and write, but he wrote in his Echo column, Liverpool are running scared of this Everton team. That's like, what do we know?
That's right, I remember
6 years later, and I assume we're still running scared of them, like, because I mean, in that time we've won about like 6-7 trophies, and they've won. They've won.
They beat us 2-2 the other week, didn't he?
Oh yeah, they beat us 2-2. Yeah. But remember that Everton Toffee TV? We bought the Lava Birds. Like, well done, mate. You bought some fucking office real estate. You can go down there now and get a fucking hair transplant if you want. Fucking hell.
Turn them blue, thinking it was really going to bother us.
and then we set them on fire. Then we set them on fire anyway. So it's fucking sad. Hopefully do that again in a few weeks' time. Fucking hell.
Going back to the tackle though, there's like a couple of things. Not the tackle itself, but there's a couple of things like at the time, like I picked up on, and it pissed me off. Well, this didn't piss me off, but I'm going to mention it because it was quality. When that happens, I look down, like at there's obviously everyone's like on the bench are all up and all that, and I looked, and you've got like Nunes is going mad, screaming at the fourth official. Costas is right there with him, And then there's Chiesa, and Chiesa's just being like the most Italian man in the world for like the next 30 seconds to a minute. He could not have been any more Italian. His facial expressions, holding his arms out and all that, turning around to the crowd, and like it was fucking amazing. I was watching him, I wasn't even really paying attention to anything else. I'm like, John, look at Chiesa, look at his face, look what he's doing. Chiesa was, there needs to be a Chiesa cam just on him for the whole game, because like there's always something going on with him. Like at the start of the game, he'd be looking at the cop like, and he'd be singing along with songs and stuff. And,
I've seen.
And like during the game, he kicks every ball. He's like, he was up there like screaming when the tackle went in and that. He's the first one up celebrating goals. He's just so invested in it, and for someone who never plays, I just can't like speak highly enough of him. I fucking love him. But you should have seen like just the Italian faces he was pulling when that was going on. It was great.
Sat back down and carried on drinking his San Pellegrino, his orange San Pellegrino. But yeah, it's like you can't fault his attitude at all. Maybe in the Plymouth game, but like he wasn't alone in that.
It wasn't attitude. He was just shite. But like
just terrible. Anyway.
At least he was still trying.
It's a shame he hasn't had the minutes, because I mean he's contributed a bit, hasn't he? I mean, we were only that scoreline in the cup final, not to harken back to it, but I mean he made it look like it was closer than it actually was with a smart finish. I don't understand that. I mean, Slot was praising him in the press conference before the game, made it sound like, you know, he was ready to give him a bit more minutes or a few more minutes, but I mean, he's glorified cheerleader at the minute. So.
Yeah, he is. He's embraced the role.
Yeah,
to his credit, like, there's no ego there. He's embraced like that role. He could have top a team player.
He could have dropped it in January, because I've no doubt he would have been. He would have had offers to go back to Italy at the very least on loan. So I mean, again, that says a lot about his attitude. That he's obviously, this is an imaginary scenario, but like, you know, if that has happened, that he's said no. He wants to try and give it a go. And I mean, he's going to get a league. He's going to get a league winners medal at the end of it. So, you know, fair fucks to him, I think, anyway.
5 appearances.
Is it 5? Yeah.
I don't even know if he's got that. But I think when you get
I know he's got at least 1, because he come on against Brentford, didn't he? But I think he's got the 5. He should have. I mean, it's fucking ass if he hasn't.
I think if this 12-point gap stays for a couple more games, I think then you'll start seeing like a few other players making appearances just so they get a medal.
Well, Arsenal have got Everton on Saturday, haven't they? So
yeah, be interesting to see what Everton do there.
Yeah.
Like if they've accepted that we've won it, then they may go after Arsenal. But if they're still thinking Arsenal's got a chance, it'll be interesting to see.
I'm hoping for a tasty Tarkowski reducer on someone there. I'll support it this weekend. Will not fucking tolerate it last night though.
He'll get sent off. He'll get sent off for just a little shove.
Yeah, you will. Or tell the ref to fuck off. Yeah, it'll be the most innocuous thing ever. Just
kicking the ball away.
You'll be able to hear fucking Slot slapping his ball dead from here when he gets sent off.
But yeah, the thing that pissed me off about it, like in the aftermath of that, not one of our players went over to Tarkowski. Not one.
No.
Like a couple of them stood there and like threw their arms up in the air. Oh, referee! But like, you know, I don't really want to single Dom out here. But we know that Dom's I will, because we know that he had that issue with Tarkowski after the derby last year.
Yeah.
So someone who you've got this fucking problem with, and then, you know, there was more issues after the derby of the week when Tarkowski scored. How are you just standing by and not going and fucking confronting him after he's just done that to McAllister? I just don't get it. Like, there's just nobody in our team who's going to do something like that, and it frustrates me. That fucking wingnut, he almost fucking snapped McAllister in half, and they all just stood around going, "Oh, that's a bad tackle." Not fucking one of them. I don't get it. It really frustrates me that I'm not going to say we're soft, but we are like we're not fucking aggressive enough at all, because you need to be
not with stuff like that. Definitely not.
And especially because he gets a yellow for the tackle. Now, if you go over and you get in a bit of fucking handbags with him, he maybe does something that gets him another yellow.
Yeah,
and maybe you have to take a yellow as well. But you don't just let that go and not do anything.
No. I'd exclude Curtis in that, because at least Curtis fucking.
Well, Curtis was over at right back, so he's too far away, isn't he?
At least
he couldn't
Curtis
have been any
went
further away.
No, at least Curtis played his part in February and almost causing a riot, which, I appreciate. But yeah, I mean, I was doing more shouting at me telly last night than any of our players were.
Yeah.
Which it can't be right. I mean, he's just had to fucking snap your mate in half.
Exactly.
If that happens in father side, there'd be fucking murder. But I don't
fucking
know why.
run up and just fucking clap your hands loudly next to him, because those fucking gargantuan ears, his head would still be ringing today. That's you got to take advantage of that, or at a corner, just shove his head against the goalpost, like them big old fucking suction cups, and stick him to the goalpost. You'd have to go and get that fella with the bolt cutters to fucking cut him free. Do you want to call the Just Stop Oil kid? Have to fucking bring him back to get Tarkowski off the post.
A fucking Goodison idol. Well, that's, I mean, you've got to the momentum he's built up. So he's you have the force coming against them ears. He's gone right through that fucking force, the gravitational pull going against them ears.
The wind got behind him.
The wind, exactly. So he's fucking, you got to... I'm trying to write the equation out here of X equals Y equals force equals McAllister's fucking leg. But, I mean, the speed he must have been going at to, fight against the wind against his ears, it's just, it's fucking horrendous. It's just And today the PGMOL have come out and said, should have been sent off. Okay, thanks, guys. Just Steve Stifler in American Pie, just holding a thumb up, just holding a single thumb up, pointing it back at them. Cheers, boys. Thanks very much. Yeah, we'll crack on, shall we? It's fucking unbelievable stuff.
Yeah, that's just it's one of those things that every time you see it, you're like, how was that not given? Seriously, there needs to be some sort of fucking inquest here, not just that. We've got that wrong. No,
even Mike Dean was on it's not Soccer Saturday, is it? 'Cause it was Wednesday, but he was on that, if you know what I mean, last night.
Yeah.
Mike Dean. Obviously, the way the refs talk, the language they use is very, because they want to protect the mate, so it's very, I wouldn't say non-committal in a lot of stuff, but you know what I mean. It's ambiguous a lot of the time, which I suppose means non-committal, but you know what I'm trying to get at. But Mike Dean just straight out just went, that is a straight red card, and I can't believe he hasn't been sent to the monitor. Every one of them on the panel obviously agreed, because there's no one in the world that doesn't, apart from Paul Tierney, that didn't think it was a red card. It's just what has he seen? That's what you're right about before. Explain what he has seen, please, that justifies him not at the very least sending a ref to the monitor, because he shouldn't even need to send him to the monitor. He should just say, upgrade that, get him off.
That's all he does now, isn't it? VAR. He's been injured. He's not refereed all season. He just does VAR now. And even that, he was off it for a few months. He's just been fairly recently brought back to it. So there's something just a bit iffy there. There's something not right.
We all thought he was dead, didn't we? We all thought
we all hoped. So so he's injured, so he can't referee. That's fine. But why was he not working VAR the whole season?
Don't know. No idea. Maybe he had the same injury as David Coote.
Yeah. Fucking hell. Tarkowski's ears are so big, he's a fucking Wi-Fi hotspot. I actually had a signal during the first half last night. Normally I don't get any messages till I go down at half time. Yeah. But I'm sat there and I'm getting all WhatsApp messages. I'm like, what's going on here? Where am I getting the signal from? It's his ears, he's a fucking Wi-Fi hotspot.
He must have been in Birkenhead the other day, because my missus went through the tunnel and a fucking signal didn't cut out when we were on the phone. So,
no way.
Yeah, honestly, he must have been on a ferry on the top or something like that, and the signal's just bouncing off his fucking ears as she's coming under. Okay, no.
You know, when he goes to barbers, he spends half an hour on his ear hair, and then at the end they say, do you want us to do a little trim on your head?
I wouldn't know. I haven't been to barbers for ages, what that entails. So,
well, does that count, the Turkish barbers?
No, well, I don't think
by the way?
It was more of a scalper than a barbers.
To come through now?
Yeah. I'm going to start leaving it to grow now. For those who don't know, I went and took the plunge and had a hair transplant in Turkey. All great, just look mad. Some of the worst pain I've ever experienced in my entire life when they were doing the anaesthetic. Like nothing else, absolute torture. But after that, I pretty much fell asleep while he was doing it. It was sound. It's not been sore, I know the pictures made it look sore, but it's just in the immediate aftermath. It obviously looks dead raw and that. And it was just the day I got it done, when they sent me home, they were like,
how many others were on the flight? On the
there's only me. There was literally only me. Yeah, so the day before the flight, I'd paid for my seat and I booked the back of the flight because I thought I can't be arsed having people taking pictures of the back of my head and throwing me on TikTok and that. And I got to the back of the plane and I'm like, oh my God, I'm actually the only one on here who's fucking had it done. I was like, oh, I don't believe it. I was the only one in the airport. I was the only one on the plane. But yeah, it was sad. It just fucking, when I got home, my head swelled up so much. It looked like Drop Dead Fred, you know, when he taps his head in the fridge. It looked exactly like that. But when they sent me home, they were like from the thing, when they sent me back to the hotel, they were like, keep your stress levels low, just stay relaxed all day. We played Brentford, didn't we, away? You know, when Nunes scored in the last 5 minutes. Yeah. Fuck me. Surprised it all didn't just fall out there and then. My head was up my ass. Almost literally, like I mean, watchers going off telling me to calm down. I'm like, not now, you fucking bastard, fucking hell. But yeah,
and that wasn't even the stress of the game. That was just the fact that, you know, you're going to have to deal with me, with Darwin.
Yeah, I know, yeah. I was sat there with an inflatable neck pillow on, thinking, oh my God, I think I'd rather go through the anaesthetic again than have to deal with Usher. Oh well, I'm sure it'll all be sound. It'll all be sound in the future when it weaves.
So how long is it supposed to be before it starts to like properly grow? It wasn't that long for Mo.
No,
I suppose he had the whole summer, didn't he? And then
I don't think he went to Turkey to get it done on the cheap either.
Yeah, probably not.
My mate went 6 weeks before me because I was meant to go with them, but we were doing our house up, so and we have gone way off fucking piece here, by the way. But yeah, so I was meant to go in December, and then like because we were still doing the house, it got postponed, so I went on my own in January. So he's got 6 weeks on me. And his now is properly coming through. Like it looks great. So I've got my fingers crossed that man starts coming through now. So my 3-year-old can stop saying to me, "Where's your hair gone, Dad?" So yeah.
I reckon it looks sound because it wasn't that like I didn't even think you needed to do it. Like all joking aside, it's not you're not like you were Paul.
No, it wasn't. I mean, it is like that now when I shave it down, but. It was more just like because it was thin and I was like, I can't go bald. I just have not got the head shape for it. And I mean, these last 3 months have proven that. Walking around like a fucking Nickelodeon blimp. But it's it's as long as everything goes all right. Yeah, I'll be sound with it. Like my mate who's had this done, he's got to go back and have the back of it done as well. But he's a mad bastard though, because when you're getting it done, sometimes you'll feel and you'll think, oh, is that them? Or is it the wind? Or is it something? And then you just think, oh, fuck it. And you just say, can I have more anaesthetic, please? Because obviously at that point you can't feel and putting the anaesthetic in. So any sort of slight thing, you just put your hands up and go, pain. My mate was like, oh, no, I didn't do any of that. I didn't want to be a big fanny. I'm like, what the fuck are you on about? He said by the end, he was fucking white knuckle gripped to the fucking thing because it was hurting him that much. And he just had to go, I'll tell you what, that's enough. And he's like, why would you not ask for fucking anaesthetic? You dopey bastard. And he just went, I don't want to be a big fucking fanny, because it was a room full of women. And I'm like, I could not give a shit. Anytime I felt anything, I was just like, pain. Just fucking dose me right up, love. Fucking hell. But yeah, he was just like, I fucking, by the end, I couldn't cope. I'm like, Mark, if anyone knows him, he'll know who he is. But I'm like, Mark, you have to tell him that you're in pain, mate. He's like, fuck that. It's like, Jesus Christ. But yeah, I can't imagine how he felt, because like some of the tools they use, they do not look friendly. So yeah.
Fucking hell.
But anyway, it's all going all right. It's all going all right.
Good. Be a nice full head of hair for the parade.
Hopefully, mate. Yeah. Hopefully Slot will see me and be like, "Who's your guy?" And I'll be like, "I'll give you his number."
The Blues are having a parade as well at the end of the season for that 2-2 derby win. Apparently they're going to tie blue and white ribbons onto Tarkowski's ears and just parade him around the city on a bus.
I heard they were going to do a fucking abseil down the side of the new ground, but they couldn't in case he flew away. Fucking hell.
Tarkowski's ears are so big he can hear sign language.
I don't think I've got any more.
Oh, I have.
No, you have, yeah.
I've got a few more.
Just unfurl the scroll like a Roman emperor.
Let's crack on. So, half time, it's 0-0, and I'm not feeling great about it, Mike. See, this is exactly what I was worried about with we're just not at it. It's too slow. It's too fucking predictable. And I actually thought the crowd were good in the first half. It wasn't great, but again, it's like you've got to have something to feed off. And like the crowd were definitely up for it. It was loud, but the longer the half went, you just kind of get bored into submission a little bit, and you sit there going, "What are we doing here?" So that's the main thing that you need is like just if you raise the tempo, the crowd will respond. And then that's when you see like results, which we've seen it all season. Yeah. We just seem to play in these like 10-15 minute spells, and that's usually enough for us to get the goals we need to win the game. It's been happening all season, and it happens again. I thought we started the second half well. Not necessarily loads of clear chances, but we had good moments where you felt like, okay, just it wasn't breaking for us, like shots were getting blocked and the rebounds were falling to their players, and it was just all like nearly, and you felt, okay, there's something for us here, just keep going.
Yeah, they seem to win like every second bounce, didn't they, of almost everything apart from the goal.
And it wasn't a case of like us being second to it, it was just falling for them. There's been like the Newcastle game, for example. They were just first to everything. We were second to every ball. They clearly wanted it more. That was a massive issue. This wasn't that. This was just more unfortunate. Like the ball was just wasn't breaking for us. It was breaking for them.
I thought maybe it's because like the VAR check was done so quickly and stuff like that, so people might not have thought it was as bad as it was on the ground. But I thought like the Tarkowski tackle and the I suppose injustice is too strong of a word, but like the fact that nothing came of it. I thought that might have been like a bit of an impetus, but I suppose you've already covered it by saying like the players didn't really react to it. So if the players aren't reacting to it, the fans aren't going to react to like how the players are putting an increased effort and stuff like that, because they've been wrong. But I think like they weren't doing it. There was a few times where it's just like we'd put like a really good ball into the box. I think Robbo a couple of times and Mo maybe, and they just seemed to like by luck it just seemed to bounce off for them or something like that, or like they'd just like stick a foot out. They weren't even sure they would do what they were doing with, and it just fucking clear. So I think that was like adding to the frustration of that. Like I mean, I remember at the February derby at their place, I think we must have crossed the bar like 25 balls in, and every single one of them was landing on Brandwaite or Tarkowski and stuff like that. And I just think, please don't do that again, because we know what's going to happen. But we were putting better balls in, because a lot of the time we were missing Brandwaite out, and they were landing in the 6-yard box, or it's only like 4 or 5 times, or they were going into decent areas, but they just seemed to just get the rub with them until like Jota's goal, because I think Jota had like 3 goals like that. The 2 of them were blocked, and obviously one of them resulted in the goal.
Yeah, we've seen that goal from Jota so many times. Just like the little slalom. And I was saying to John afterwards, like the finish, he seems to be able to like those. He doesn't even put them in the corner. He just hits that shot, and the goalkeeper's like moving the other way and is just totally wrong-footed and has to stand there and watch it go past them. And it's not even in the corner. He just seems to have that knack of just like weaving in and out, and then like wrong-footing the keeper with the shot. But really good from Jota. But it's what we've seen him do. That's the kind of goal. Like if you think of Jota goals, what's your trademark Jota goal? It's that, isn't it? The little slalom run and then the finish, But
I mean, like Pickford was too busy, like with his arm up appealing for something to even attempt to save it.
He was appealing for offside, wasn't he? Which, again, like I think Slot absolutely nailed that when he said, like, I don't like that rule. I wish that rule wasn't in place, but that rule is in place, and they enforced it exactly how they should have. So that is a goal. It shouldn't be, in my view. The rule's shit. It shouldn't be, because Tarkowski has to try to intercept the pass because it's going to Diaz, who's offside. So, but the logic is Diaz didn't make a play for the ball. But if Tarkowski,
but if he leaves it, he's offside.
I know, but if you're a defender, you don't leave it, because you don't know if you've got somebody behind you who's playing him on. So you can't just let that ball go through. You've got to try to intercept it. So I don't like the rule. But it's the correct decision. There's no question about it. That was the right decision. But the rule is shit. They've messed it offside so much now.
He shouldn't have been on the pitch to intercept that ball anyway. So they can fuck off. As far as
do you know Tarkowski's ears are so big that he overheard Victoria's Secret?
Oh, mate. Is this why this pod's late? You've been fucking up all night writing these down.
Some of these are my own and some of them are ones I found. I'm just adapted.
I haven't got any about these. I've just got horrible ones about... In fact, no, that's okay. But anyway, I like it. I think we've been done by that. No, the rule I'm thinking of, sorry, is the one with the... I don't know if you remember last season we played Burnley and I think Elliott scored but Salah was stood near the goalie or something like that.
That was a disgrace, that one.
Yeah. It's just stuff like that. It's like they're open to fucking like not abuse as such. I suppose this one is more open to abuse than anything because like what's to stop someone from just standing there waiting all game? Yeah. Really. Because he is affecting the play because like you say Tarkowski's gone and made the clearance because he doesn't want it to get to Diaz. So it's not a case of like being a bystander type thing. You're directly affecting the play. But then after that, I mean, like, where's Tarkowski cleared it to? He's cleared it straight to Gravenberg, I think. And then he's not done anything there because Diaz has gone in.
Two of them have got a chance to make a tackle on Jota and they don't. You know, Jota goes past two of them. So it's not like we've scored an offside goal. It's something that you feel hard done by morally. But in reality, you haven't got a leg to stand on. It's the right decision.
Again, like I said about Tarkowski with the tackle, you know, if he scores at the end, he's not apologising to McCarthy or anything like that. If they had scored the exact same goal, did you think Moyes would be in the press conference saying, oh, you know, they should look into that and possibly cancel the goal? Not a chance. Yeah, so, again, fuck them.
Moyes complaining about that. It's like, nah, come on. You know the rules. Yeah, you might not like it, but you know the rules. You know that that's the right decision. Whether
and he would take that goal every single day. Yeah. He'd take that goal for them every single day of the week. Got a lot of time for Moyes these days, but I think
same. But he sort of
he slipped into the mask. I wouldn't say the mask slipped. It was kind of he put the mask back on type thing last night. But
once Everton touches you.
Yeah, and it's touched him twice. Jesus Christ. Yeah. You shouldn't let someone touch you twice after letting them touch you the first time. Good God, man.
So when we get to 1-0, like Anfield's absolutely fucking bouncing, and it's like, okay, finish them off now. We've got momentum. Let's go and finish them off. I don't think we dropped off initially, like straight away. I do think we were still trying to ride the wave of, you know, emotion and that with the goal and that. But once it didn't come, it's sort of we sort of slowed off a little bit. And I don't know, it's not even like, usually you're worried about that when you do that because it allows the other team back into it, but that didn't happen. It was like neither team was really doing anything. And the only thing that was going on was just like the referee just doing like fucking random shit, like not just the referee, in fairness, because the Jota booking was that was on the linesman. Because that's where I sit. I'm looking right down at that. The linesman's a couple of yards away. He can see that the lad's got two arms around Jota. He's holding them for about 10 seconds, and Jota's still trying to play while he's being held. And then eventually,
it's a Salah fall, isn't it? It's a Salah fall.
It is. It's, but like sometimes with Mo will sort of have an arm around and he'll be initiating contact as well. And I think that's why sometimes they look at it and go, no, you're wanting contact there. That's as much on you. I'm not saying it is, but that's how they interpret it. Jota wasn't really doing anything other than just being held with two arms.
Yeah.
So then, and is Jota's reaction, like how vociferous he was in his like appeal about it, that tells you that Jota knows, no, that's not 50-50, that's not me doing this, that's just a fucking foul, and you're looking right at it. So I can see, like, Jota's like, I think he called I could be wrong, but it looked like he called the linesman a fucking cheat, because he shouted something at him, and then straight away, the little fucking grass, he's waving his flag, and he's like, oh, ref, he's just called me this. So the ref comes over, books him, but then Jota's applauding him after he's been booked.
I thought he was off then, you know.
He applauds the ref, and then he turns and he applauds the linesman again. I'm like, look, you're going to have to fucking stop that. And then he gets fouled again about 30 seconds later, and it doesn't get given. And then 2 minutes later, there's another foul on him, and that doesn't get given. And you're like, Jota's going to eventually snap here, because he's actually doing well to not react to like the two fouls that hadn't been given. So you knew he was going to get subbed then. So then
I thought he might have brought him off straight after that. I would
have thought about it. I'd have considered it because his head had gone. But he did calm himself down. But I think that change probably gets made anyway, because it gets made every game. Like, whoever starts, the other one comes on. We see it like every single game. So Darwin comes on, and then he's involved in like just a fucking ridiculous situation where he ends up getting a yellow card. Now, there's a lot going on there.
Yeah.
But my biggest issue with it was there's a foul in our half. I think the foul was on Szoboszlai, I'm not sure.
It was, yeah.
He doesn't give that. So the ball gets played down the line and Darwin's chasing it with Branthwaite. He doesn't give the foul. He's letting that play out. And then there's like a tussle and Darwin ends... I need to see it back, but he ends up getting ahead of Branthwaite and he's running through on Pickford. And then he blows the whistle. So the whistle blows, it's a few seconds before like the collision with Pickford and Darwin. It's a few seconds before that. So Pickford knows the whistle's gone. I think Darwin's still just like in his own world chasing after a loose ball. But Pickford knows, because Pickford can see everybody else on the pitch is stopped because the whistle's gone. And he just took that as an opportunity. Oh, the game stopped, I can just fucking boot him. Because that's all he does. He's so late with that tackle. He just runs and he just fucking boots Darwin. So if the referee doesn't blow the whistle and Pickford does that, that's a penalty.
Yeah, 100%.
And because he blew the whistle, which if he blows it straight away for the foul, I'm okay with that. But why are you letting the play go? And then, as we finally like gain an advantage from it, then you blow the whistle. That was just, the timing of it was weird. And then you've got the whole situation where Darwin's like behind the goal, needing treatment and that. And McAllister's over there and like, that the crowd's all like baying for blood and that.
Yeah.
And then McAllister just, you see him, he says to Darwin, he's like, roll over, go back on the pitch. Because the game would have started with us down to 10 men.
Well, that's what he was saying to the referee. They were saying to him, he's off the pitch, just fucking get on with it. Yeah. And then obviously, Mark has gone over it. And clearly just said to him, come on, roll onto the pitch, mate. And it was funny as fuck.
The way he rolled over was comical as well.
Yeah. I'm sure he was laughing when he did it, you know. But it's like, I don't know what the ref was doing there. I keep saying it's just, I can't remember when the whistle went. All I remember thinking was like, it's like, regardless of the whistle going or not, and it was the same when he did Van Dijk. It's like, he's gone out to do him there. Pickford has gone out to do Núñez. It's like, surely you need to fucking like, there needs to be something, at the very least, the yellow card. Because he is nowhere near the ball, because the ball's on the ground. And he's at fucking Núñez halfway of his waist.
Swing.
Yeah. And then he's pretending he's injured as well. But, sorry, like, again, obviously it's not as bad as the Tarkowski tackle. But how are they just getting away with shit like that? And then having like the fucking, the gumption to come out afterwards and moan about decisions. It's like, what are you like not seeing here through your fucking blue tinted fucking specs? It's unbelievable. Like, yeah, like I say, I don't know where the whistle was blown exactly, because I thought it was right after, because it was that Engamoa, I think, he grazed Dom, but obviously Dom went down. I couldn't remember if it was like immediately after.
It wasn't straight away. The whistle went.
Yeah.
It went just as Núñez went past Branthwaite. I think Branthwaite was playing it back. I think I need to say it back. I think he was playing it back to Pickford because he was ahead of Darwin. He'd beaten him to the ball, but then it must have been a short back pass or something, and then Darwin's running in and gets there first. But the whistle goes as Branthwaite reaches the ball and plays the back pass. That's when he blows the whistle. That's how I remember it. I'd need to see it back, but at the time, that's how I remembered it. But it's just a farcical situation that Jota and Núñez have both had the same punishment in that game as Tarkowski got.
Yeah.
And like Núñez, when he rolled onto the pitch, and as soon as he rolled onto the pitch, the referee pulled his card out, and then he was just waiting for him to get up so he could give him the card. Yeah. So but Darwin doesn't know that's coming. He's like, he's got no idea why he's being booked. He doesn't know if he's being booked for the challenge with Pickford, or he's got no idea what the yellow card's for, and he's just like the sense of injustice is there, and then he doesn't know what to do. So then he just turns around and he just starts fucking whipping up the crowd. He's like giving it loads to the crowd. So and then he comes down on the touchline, and it's one of the staff, like the physios or whoever, and he's just got like two arms around him because he can't go back on the pitch straight away. And you
That
can
seemed longer
see
than
like the
30
guy's
seconds as
just
well.
trying to calm him down.
Yeah.
He's like, look, forget the yellow card. And then Slot comes and has a word to him as well. You know, just to say, look, forget about that. You know,
Yeah.
just keep it cool and that. And then he's waiting to come on, and he's waiting fucking ages. And Everton's on the attack. Darwin's screaming at the fourth official, like, why aren't you letting me back on the pitch? Yeah. And it just took an age, and then he waves him back on. I'm like, that whole thing was a fucking farce from start to finish.
I was really hoping he was going to go full John Aldridge, USA 94. Remember when he's, hey, you fucking dickhead, you fucking swat and all that. I think I'd have, you know, either went up in my either put him at notch 1 in my estimations. But like, that was definitely longer than 30 seconds. Because would he count on the time from like where the ref's like gone right off the pitch? You know, when he's booked him?
Once the game restarted, it was longer than 30 seconds. It felt like he was waiting 30 seconds at the, because I had to walk right back around to the halfway line. It felt like 30 seconds from that point. Never mind like how long it took him to walk around.
Along the same lines as Jota, when he booked him, he just shouted, "Fuck off, you," or something like that, or "Fuck you." And I thought, fucking hell, mate, he's just going to turn around and just book you again if you're not careful. Because he was kicking off.
Because refs do not like that when you sarcastically applaud them. That's supposed to be like a straight yellow, and he did it to both of them after he'd been booked.
Rooney got sent off for United for doing that once. I mean, to be fair, Rooney, he did it right in the ref's face, and the ref just turned around and went, "Hard off you go." So yeah, I'm surprised he got away with that. Like, but again, it's not like he's got away with nearly breaking someone's leg. So, you know.
And also the fact that the yellow card like initially was because he didn't get given like the most clear free kick.
Yeah.
So there's that as well. But I was saying to John with when Darwin got that booking, and then when he was trying to get back on the pitch, I said to him, you know, if I felt like one of those Red Arrow breakaway goals coming, you know, from like an Everton corner, because we've done that to them twice, and Darwin's been involved in those. He remember that one? He squared it, yeah. So I just felt like there was one of them coming from an Everton set piece, and I said to John, I said, you know, if Darwin scores here, he's getting sent off because he's in the cop. He's not just gonna. It won't even just be a shirt off. He will actually be in the cop because like he was like so fired up. But like when the final whistle went, you could see like the reaction. Like Darwin, when the final whistle went, just let out like a big fucking roar and like clenched fist and that. And a few of them were like that. So you can see like they knew how important that was. Just getting over the line in that game.
Well, even Slot was a bit like Carragher mentioned it on the Sky. Slot was a bit more. I wouldn't say emotional, but he was a bit more reactive to it and a bit less guarded in how he celebrated. Because I mean, he was at the on the touchline. I think they got a goal kick, didn't he, at the very end, and that's when the ref blew his whistle, and he was like that to them right fucking 10 seconds, and he was like fist bumping and stuff like that. And then Virgil went round and was not giving it loads, but you know was making sure to go round to like every corner of the ground. I think they knew, they must have known, because obviously. And I mean, in a derby, you take any victory, don't you? The funnier the better, but you take that last night anyway.
Yeah.
They'll have known the other week was fucking horrendous in every aspect. I mean, the managers called it unacceptable and stuff like that. The cup final, not so much the PSG game, because that can happen. But then there was a good thing today as well. I don't know if you've seen the clip. I think Paul put it in the group of everyone's favourite Michael Owen. To be fair, I think I think he gets a hard rap, but he doesn't help himself. Like he's asked Virgil, you know, is this now?
There was nothing wrong with his question, by the way.
No,
it was a perfectly reasonable question. to ask.
But as Virgil said, like that, the narrative shouldn't be about this being a disappointing season. We're 12 points clear in a position no one expected us to. We've lost one game all season. We're unbeaten in 26 or something like that now. Last night was the first time in about, I think it's like 12 or 13 games in the league we haven't scored 2 goals in a game, which, you know, it's the stats bear out that this is a really, really, really good league winning season. But I think the narrative is now, we're in danger a little bit of throwing the baby out with the bathwater because of the other week. The league's the hardest one to win, and by the looks of it, he's going to piss it in his first season. And I know he's doing it with someone else's team, but he still has to do it. Do you know what I mean? He still has to come in and he still has to get a tune out of them. So there's managers that have got it. Like, I know he's different, and he's kind of at his level where he did well with West Ham. No, Moyes went into a league-winning team with United, did fuck all. Even like Guardiola when he took over City, it wasn't an immediate, like, he didn't, stampede his way to the league in his first season. He took a year to get into it, and then, when like the cheating properly took hold and stuff like that, then that's when you seen them like disappearing over the hill. Not everyone jumps in and takes everything in the stride, especially not following a manager like he's had to follow. So
that's the big thing, because of the shoes you're having to fill.
Yeah, and he is his own man.
Isn't it, that happens?
Yeah, he's his own man. He's got his own methods, and I know this isn't like the pod for that debate, but his football is markedly different. I mean, last night, first half especially. I mean, like Gravenberch last night. Jesus, yeah. He just slowed it down so much. Yeah, he was. He was like that, like the player from last season, where it's like, what do you actually do? But he was well better second half, as they all were. Yeah. But it's like he has his own style, but he's doing it with players who aren't his, and he's still got to win the league. So you'd like to think that's a mark of encouragement for, like, in future when he does get, or when he does get a few of his own players in, that he can still do well with us. But I mean, like, even saying, we'll see. It's like we'll see what he's going to win the big one in his first season. So yeah, I think the other week has properly like raised a lot more questions and stuff like that. But we shouldn't forget where we are or where we're going in terms of, like, the big one, the one we all want, the one we'd have sacrificed everything else for at the start of the season anyway. It's just how the other ones, not so much the FA Cup and the Champions League, it's how we lost the Carabao. But we were all disappointed last season when we only won the Carabao. So you won't catch me being disappointed this season when we only win the league. As I don't think Michael Owen put it that way, but it was kind of framed in that way of, like, you're only picking up one. It's like, yeah, but it's the hardest one. It's the one everyone wants.
Yeah, it's still going to be a great season, but it could have been an even greater season, and it was looking like it might have been. Yeah. So it's disappointing what's happened in the last couple of weeks, which it is, because it fucking is disappointing.
No, it is.
About it.
And it's a fan.
When the dust settles on it, at the end of the season, it won't be, because we'll have won the league. But in the moment, it's disappointing.
Yeah, you're losing to the Saudis and stuff like that, which is not nice.
We fucking enabled all. Most people will be blissfully unaware of all the shit that's been going on up there, but I'm getting bombarded by my brother-in-law about what they're up to, and it's some of it is just fucking farcical, like the shit that they're doing.
Did you see the big Eddie Howe flag? Oh my god, it's fucking horrendous. Beheady Howe, sorry, to give him his full government name, Beheady Howe. It's just that's it's
we
not
enabled
nice
that. That's what's pissed me off. It's like that's happening because we enabled it.
But, like, I see people on Twitter going, like, how can you be mad at these fans? It's like, I'm not mad at the fans. I'm fucking disgusted at us for allowing them that day. They should all be in work, the cheeky bastards. But I mean, like I said, I mean, like, even in terms of, like, Michael Owen saying, it could have been a special season in our history, like, the most successful club in the land. How many actual seasons has it been where we've won multiple trophies in seasons? Is it maybe 5 or 6 in 120 odd, 130 odd years of existence? City have only done it recently because of cheating. United have done it a couple of times. Obviously, Ferguson was paying the refs off, but I mean, they did it through football for the most part, through, like, building an absolute winning machine. But even us, if just used to collect trophies for fun, it wasn't it wasn't a fully regular thing where we were just hoovering up multiple trophies. So, I mean, it is what it is, and it's gone now. And like you say, well, no one's going to be asked when Virgil's lifting the league trophy. No one's going to give a shit about that. It's just, it sticks in the throat that we've enabled a horrendous fucking sports washing machine to legitimise itself with its first trophy. But we'll get over it in a few weeks' time.
In terms of, like, the way we'll look at the season, once you've won the league, at the start of the season, if we had the choice about winning anything, that's what we would have all gone for, 100%. And that's what we're going to do. So my thing was more, like the disappointment that I was feeling, it wasn't so much that we weren't going to win more than one trophy. It wasn't that. I just needed us to finish the season strongly. I didn't want us to be limping to the finish line, and it was feeling like that's how it was maybe going to go. So winning the derby is massive from that point of view. Doesn't matter that it wasn't like a vintage performance. It was a good enough performance. You know, we deserved to win. We did win, and that's fine. And I just feel like we needed that so we can. It sort of takes a little bit of pressure's probably the wrong word, because you know we've still had like a massive lead, but just after what had happened in the last few weeks, there was like a negative vibe around the place, around the fan base, around the narrative in the media, everything. It needed the 3 points just to.
I don't think Arsenal winning on this. Obviously, Arsenal way back, even winning the other night, they were still 9 points in goal difference back, so they're still 4 games back basically. But like, I mean, I think I said in the group, they seem to be having a better time chasing us and knowing they're not going to get us than we are fucking leading the pack. You know, when like Saka came on Tuesday and they're all up and all that, and the atmosphere is good, and then he scores 2 minutes later, and they all seem, and the last thing you want to see is Arsenal fans happy. So I mean, like seeing all that, I think I put on Twitter like need a big performance, just to like, you know, not bring everyone back on side, because I think that's too strong a term. But just to like fucking poke everyone and say, we're going to do this, you know. Like, it doesn't fucking matter what they do. They could bring back Thierry fucking Henry and it's not going to make any difference. Especially now, obviously, because he's like 50. But, I mean, like, you know what I mean? It's like, we shouldn't be like asked about them. But because of how the last couple of weeks have gone, well, not even the last couple of weeks, just that 1 week that we had where it all just seemed to be falling apart. It's like left, not a scar, but it's left an impression where that the other night, the Arsenal game, you're thinking, for fuck's sake, when we shouldn't really be asked about them. We shouldn't be bothered because it doesn't matter what they're going to do. So it was good to get that. And like last night was like a release of tension rather than stress or anything like that, because it's been so long since our last game. I mean, even our last league game, I think, was the Southampton game, wasn't it? And that, I mean, the first half of that was really similar to the first half of Everton last night as well. So
the Southampton first half was as bad as anything I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, that was fucking horrendous. So that wouldn't have helped.
Given the quality of opposition, it was terrible.
And given the fact we put our full team out as well, we didn't make any changes.
Yeah. I think one thing that I want to say about last night really is that as fans we look at it and go, Everton is shit, we should be beating them easily.
Yeah.
But I think that's maybe not really the case in terms of they're really hard to play against, and I think from the players' point of view, the players know how hard it is playing against them. So to get the win last night, you could see like they knew we've had to work really hard for this and we've got over the line. So I do think, like, although it wasn't like spectacular, we've not played fantastic football and blown them away. It's a difficult game, and if you're not quite at it, you know, you could come unstuck, and we made sure that didn't happen. Especially second half, completely shut them out. There was just no threat at all from them in the second half. We did a really good job there. Got the goal, got the 3 points, and we're almost there now. Really, it's going to be interesting to see how Everton approach the Arsenal game this weekend. Because if it's the proper Everton plays against Arsenal, I think Arsenal's in trouble.
Yeah.
Because the record there is terrible anyway. Arsenal always struggle at Goodison. So there's no reason to think that Arsenal will go there and get a result if Everton are up for it.
Even a draw.
So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Yeah, and well, that's the thing, is like any drop points, just it makes our life easier. I mean, life's fairly easy anyway, because we need, 4 wins and a draw?
Yeah. I mean, if they...
What if one of those 4 wins is against Arsenal? Does that change that then?
I'm not too sure.
Because 4 wins and a draw is on the basis that Arsenal win every game.
Yeah, that's... I mean, so if
they have to win at Anfield. So if one of our 4 wins is against Arsenal,
that would be the 4th win, couldn't it? Well, if they draw on Saturday, then we only need 11 points. Is that right? Because they'll drop 2 points. Yeah, well, they'll drop 2 points, won't they? They're only a point closer. So then, it's still 4 games, isn't it? But you only need to win 3 and draw the rest. But I give up trying to fucking work out where we might win it. But I think it'll probably still be the Spurs game, maybe. I do want us to win it at Anfield. But I mean, like given the fact that we couldn't even go for a bevy last time, couldn't even go to a pub, never mind like go to the ground and actually properly celebrate it.
Yeah.
I really could not give a shit. Honest to God, I could just get it won, just get it done now. Like Carragher said on Sky last night, just concentrate on getting it won. It'll, you know, take care of ourselves, and that'll take care of itself as well. So
I don't even care if we win it like at home or away, or if it's Arsenal dropping points and we're not even playing. I'm not asked, because it's all, to me, it's already won. So how it comes about doesn't even matter. Just get it over with as quick as possible, and then it's just about waiting until the final day. Then, isn't it? We're getting the trophy and that, and then parade the day after.
Paraded after the defeat to Palace, no doubt. John's in a half and half scarf.
John was worried last night because Palace were losing to Southampton, and that, like, we're in the derby, and John's going, I can't believe my boys Palace are fucking losing at Southampton. What's going on there? They got a stoppage time equaliser though, didn't he?
Oh, did they? I didn't even see that. I see Southampton were winning. I think Southampton needed a win, didn't they, to not be the worst ever.
Yeah, so they're still needing.
Still needing at least 2 points.
They need a point to tie it and 2 to not be the worst.
Okay, no, that's something to play for anyway, isn't it?
Yeah. You see, half of Tarkowski's salary was going on AirPods because they were just disappearing like stones into the Grand Canyon. So then he started using shower heads, and like they really look the part, but don't play any music, do they?
No.
Do you know how he solved the problem?
Toothbrush heads?
No, he just shoves an iPad in each ear now.
Can you imagine his ears in fucking IMAX filmed by Christopher Nolan? Jesus fucking Christ.
The only reason he's still at Everton is because Noddy won't pay the ransom to get him out.
Oh, fucking hell.
Are we done now? Should we talk about Fulham quickly?
Yeah, Salmid. Yeah. Not too sure what to expect from that one, to be honest with you.
Tough game because they're a bit unpredictable, but they're a good side, aren't they?
Yeah, so. Good players. I think when we played them at Anfield, I think it might have even been last time I was on, when Robbo got sent off.
Yeah.
They showed then they're a good side, but I think they're wildly inconsistent as well, aren't they?
Yeah.
But that comes with a few
of those teams, like Brighton are like that, Bournemouth are like that as well, Brentford, they're all good sides, but they are inconsistent.
I think that comes from, it's probably the nature of having people like Adama Traore in your side, because, I mean, he should be fucking absolutely brilliant, but he
should be unstoppable.
He's
the biggest underachiever in world football.
Yeah,
he is, because he's got everything that he needs to be brilliant, and yet he's just not.
Yeah, no. Even last night he had a couple of chances against Arsenal, and he's absolutely fucking he's an absolute fucking waste of time most games. I say that now, he'll probably fucking turn it on.
He's actually had a good season, in fairness, in terms of like his creativity and that. He's not really scored the goals he should be scoring.
He used to terrorise City, didn't he, when he played for Wolves? I don't know if you remember when we won the league, that game at their place.
Scored 2,
Scored 2, didn't he? Completely tucked into bits. And he should have scored for Fulham at their place. At City early in the season,
They fucking murdered City that day and somehow ended up losing the game.
I think that was the game where everyone thought something's not right here. And then after that, I think it might have been the game after that where they just completely fell to bits.
They just went on that bad run then, but you could see then that something wasn't right with City.
Yeah.
But Fulham, you just don't really know what to expect from them. They're on the day, they're really dangerous, tough game. They've not got that much to play for though, have they? I don't think they're going to get in like a European place.
They're not even like one of them sides, like, like Brentford and Bournemouth, where you get them at their place and it's like, fucking hell, the ground's tight and stuff like that, the fans are on top of you.
They're just as good away, really. It's not the place that you're going to that's difficult, it's the opponent. It's like if you play a Fulham at Anfield, it's tough.
Yeah, all the fans having a fucking cheese board and a fucking hamper from Harrods in the stands. There's no real there's nothing intimidating about Fulham, so I think that probably that marks them as like a decent team both home and away, because it's not like they have to rely on like fans getting them through. Like Palace are a bit like that, aren't they? They've got like that corner of their ground with like the fucking ultras singing the Dave Clark 5 and that. But
their away record's better than the home record.
Yeah, which is mad as well, so it just completely cancels me saying that.
Because you just think Palace is a tricky place to go. You don't think Fulham's a tricky place to go. You just think Fulham's a tricky team to play.
I think we still have the Palace as a tricky place because of Dwight Gale and all that.
Istanbul.
Yeah. But I mean, I think we've won.
We
Since the
win
season
there.
after, I think we won every league game there. Oh no,
We were
there was
dog shit there this year as well. We were so bad in that game, and we come away. I think it was 1-0, wasn't it?
Yeah, Jota.
But we were terrible.
Yeah,
Jaros came on as a sub and made that boss save.
Did you? Yeah.
Look at me and my good memory.
Get him a
Paul's going to be well impressed.
When you say good memory, did John tell you about that game last night or something like that?
No.
He was going through the Palace season review.
Yeah. No, it's all my own work, that one. So predictions then, I think we're going to win.
Yeah, I think 2-1 or 2-0. 2-0 win. Yeah, but again, they're really hard to like pin down for them, but I think we'll win. They might be even on the beach now because there's 8 games left. They're neither here nor there in terms of league table. I think there was a time where it looked like they might get in the show for top 5 maybe, but I think that's kind of gone now.
Bournemouth as well, and they've totally fallen away.
Which is a shame.
They were right up there. They actually got to 5th at one point, didn't they?
Yeah,
Bournemouth,
they were right down City's next, weren't they? But yeah, I think maybe. I don't even think it comes down to quality there. Maybe it's just like longevity of like fitness and stuff like that. Because they've had to cope with all kinds of injuries all season as well, haven't they? Bournemouth.
Yeah.
Remember that every game the camera used to go on like the corner of the ground, and there'd be about 16 players.
They're like sardines.
All of them in the same track. But yeah, I can see as maybe not. I think comfortable might be too strong a word for it, but I think 2-0, 2-1 Sunday.
Do you think there'll be many changes?
Probably not.
I've got a feeling there might be. I think maybe
Bradley,
maybe Enzo might come in.
I think Conor Bradley might come back in if he's fit enough. Alisson probably as well, obviously, if his head's all right. Maybe he'll look to bring Gakpo in. Surprised Gakpo didn't start last night actually. But might look to bring Gakpo, Nunes. But now I say no, possibly, yeah. But that's the thing, like you're trying to second guess his teams and he goes, no, same as last week. So
yeah, I don't know, I just think maybe Enzo coming in for Gravenberch maybe. Because it's the quick turnarounds, because we're only playing once a week from now on.
Yeah.
I don't think we've got many midweek games, have we? But just from the quick turnaround from this one, I'd like to see a couple of changes. I'd be bringing Enzo in, and I want to say put Harvey in, but it's that whole playing against your former club away from home thing that Jules always goes on about.
The Jules rule.
There's something in that, there is something in that.
Yeah, well, he's had the nightmare there before, hasn't he?
Yeah, not even getting on again last night. I just feel so sorry for him, especially because Dom's doing fuck all. I
know. I mean, lately Harvey Elliott's dad's more likely to get a game than he is, the way things are fucking going. But it's a shame. Like, it's a shame. I know that the stories have started about him going and stuff like that, which I hope not. But we won't get into that because it caused murder last week. So in the group chat.
Yeah. Plus, we'd be if we start talking about players who've been linked that moves away, we'll be on for another hour because it's basically like 3/4 of the squad, isn't it?
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just have to see how that plays out. But yeah, I'm going to go for, I think 2-1 like you actually. I think that's a good shout, 2-1.
Sound.
And if Arsenal can drop some points, that would be nice.
Come on, you
just to quicken things up a little bit. I'll be walking around the house, belting out Spirit of the Blues, singing along.
I'm going to do the Everton remix of The Farm all together now. I'm going to have that blasting out.
I'll be walking around with a big pair of fucking Prince Charles ears in tribute to Tarkowski. You know, there's big fake ears that you can buy.
Yeah, with fucking blue ketchup on your chips.
Yeah. All right, T, we'll call it a day there, mate. Nice one.
Thanks, Dave.
All right, so thanks for listening, and we'll catch you soon.